My name is Sarah. I am a mother. I have a son. His name is Alex. He's 20 years old now. When Alex was born, I was very happy. I loved him so much. As he grew up, my love for him didn't change. But something changed inside me. I started to feel strange. I felt like I was in love with Alex. At first, I didn't think much of it. I thought it was just a normal feeling between a mother and son. But as time passed, I realized my feelings were different. I started to notice the way Alex smiled, the way he laughed, and the way he looked at me. I felt a flutter in my chest, and I couldn't explain why. I tried to brush it off, but the feelings only grew stronger. I started to wonder if I was losing my mind. Was it normal for a mother to feel this way about her son? I didn't know what to do with these feelings. I felt guilty and ashamed. I didn't want anyone to know how I felt. I kept it hidden, even from Alex. But as time passed, my feelings became harder to hide. As Alex entered his teenage years, my feelings for him grew stronger. I started to notice the way he dressed, the way he styled his hair, and the way he interacted with his friends. I felt a sense of pride and ownership. I wanted to protect him from the world and keep him all to myself. I knew these feelings were unusual. I had never heard of a mother feeling this way about her son. I felt like I was walking a thin line between love and obsession. I didn't know how to control my feelings or what the consequences would be if I acted on them. I started to withdraw from social interactions. I didn't want to meet new people or make friends. I only wanted to spend time with Alex. I would attend his school events, sports games, and concerts. I would sit in the front row, watching him with pride and admiration. As Alex entered adulthood, my possessiveness grew stronger. I didn't want him to leave me or start his own life. I wanted him to stay with me forever. I started to manipulate him, using guilt and emotional blackmail to keep him close. I would tell him that I was lonely and needed him to take care of me. I would make him feel responsible for my happiness. I would get angry if he didn't spend enough time with me or if he didn't do what I wanted him to do. Alex started to feel trapped and suffocated. He wanted to break free from my grasp and start his own life. But I wouldn't let him go. I would hold on to him tightly, using every trick in the book to keep him close. One day, Alex confronted me about my behavior. "Mom, you're suffocating me," he said. "I need some space. I need to live my own life." I was taken aback by his words. I didn't realize how my actions were affecting him. I tried to justify my behavior, telling him that I was only trying to protect him. But Alex saw right through me. He knew that I was being possessive and controlling. He told me that he needed to break free from my grasp and start his own life. I was devastated by his words. I felt like I was losing him. I didn't know how to let go. I started to cry, begging him to stay with me. But Alex was firm. He told me that he needed to leave, and that I needed to let him go. A few weeks later, Alex brought home a girl named Emily. She was beautiful, smart, and kind. Alex was clearly in love with her. But I couldn't bear the thought of him being with someone else. I tried to be nice to Emily, but I couldn't hide my true feelings. I was jealous and possessive. I started to find fault in everything she did. I would criticize her cooking, her cleaning, and her fashion sense. Alex noticed my behavior and confronted me about it. "Mom, what's wrong with you?" he asked. "Why can't you just be happy for me?" I tried to explain my feelings to him, but I knew it wouldn't make sense. As Alex and Emily's relationship grew stronger, my jealousy grew. I started to feel like I was losing Alex to her. I would see them together, holding hands and laughing, and I would feel a pang of jealousy. I started to do things to sabotage their relationship. I would tell Alex lies about Emily, trying to make him doubt her. I would try to drive a wedge between them, hoping that they would break up. But Alex was smart. He saw right through my tricks. He knew that I was trying to sabotage his relationship, and he confronted me about it. As Alex and Emily's relationship continued to grow, I became more and more desperate. I knew that I was losing Alex, and I didn't know how to stop it. I started to do crazy things. I would show up at Alex's work, hoping to catch him with Emily. I would call him constantly, asking him where he was and who he was with. Alex was getting tired of my antics. He told me that I needed to stop, that I was being ridiculous. But I couldn't stop. I was too far gone. One day, Alex confronted me about my behavior. "Mom, you're being crazy," he said. "You need to stop this. You're ruining our relationship." I was taken aback by his words. I didn't realize how my actions were affecting him. I started to get angry. I felt like Alex was abandoning me, like he was choosing Emily over me. I started to yell at him, telling him that he was ungrateful and selfish. Alex tried to calm me down, but I was beyond reason. I was furious, and I didn't care who knew it. As a result of my anger, Alex and Emily started to distance themselves from me. They would avoid coming to the house, and they would only talk to me when necessary. I was devastated. I realized that I had gone too far, that I had lost Alex's trust and respect. I didn't know how to get it back. I started to feel lonely and isolated. I had no one to turn to, no one to talk to. I was stuck in my own little world, with no way out. One night, I snapped. I couldn't take it anymore. I went to Alex's room, and I found him and Emily together. I lost my temper, and I started shouting at them. "Get out!" I screamed at Emily. "You'll never have Alex. He's mine." Alex tried to calm me down, but I was beyond reason. I was furious, and I didn't care who knew it. After that night, Alex and Emily didn't come back to the house. They moved in together, and I was left alone. I was devastated. I realized that I had lost Alex, and it was all my fault. I didn't know how to get him back. I started to feel regretful. I wished I had handled things differently. I wished I had been more supportive of Alex's relationship. As I sat alone in my house, I realized that I had been living in a fantasy world. I had been so caught up in my own desires and needs that I had neglected Alex's feelings and well-being. I thought back to all the times I had manipulated and controlled Alex, using guilt and emotional blackmail to keep him close. I thought about how I had sabotaged his relationship with Emily, and how I had ultimately driven him away. I felt a wave of shame and regret wash over me. I realized that I had been a terrible mother, and that I had ruined my relationship with Alex. As I reflected on my actions, I started to understand why Alex had distanced himself from me. I realized that I had been smothering him, suffocating him with my own needs and desires. I thought about all the times I had told Alex that I loved him, but I realized that my love had been selfish and possessive. I had loved Alex for my own sake, not for his. I started to wonder if it was too late to change, to make amends for my mistakes. I wondered if Alex would ever be able to forgive me. I decided to reach out to Alex, to try to make amends for my mistakes. I sent him a letter, apologizing for my behavior and asking for his forgiveness. I waited anxiously for a response, hoping that Alex would be willing to listen to me. Days turned into weeks, and I heard nothing. I started to lose hope, wondering if I had blown my chance to make things right with Alex. But then, one day, I received a phone call from Alex. He told me that he had received my letter, and that he was willing to talk to me. We met at a coffee shop, and Alex told me that he had forgiven me. He said that he understood that I had been struggling with my own issues, and that he was willing to work with me to rebuild our relationship. I was overjoyed, feeling like I had been given a second chance.
I vowed to do better, to be a better mother to Alex and to respect his boundaries. As we hugged, I felt a sense of closure and new beginnings. I knew that it wouldn't be easy, but I was willing to work hard to rebuild our relationship and start anew. Thank you for listening to my story. I hope this helps you to understand English better. Like, share and subscribe to this channel. Thank you.